The Russ and Z Show.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, y'all.
This is Russ and Z.
Yes.
With another episode of Tall Truths and Short Tales from the Basement. We had a wonderful weekend.
Man, I can't even talk. I'm still tired.
I'm still sleepy.
We went to Texas, you guys. Shout out to San Antonio. I love shout out.
Went back to San Antonio. Had to go out there. It's one of those things of when you're in the military, a place that you're there for the longest, you tend to call a second home. Mm-hmm. And so for that, we were out there in San Antonio for a while, stationed out there. So we had
like
a lot.
5 years, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of friends out there. We had some family move out there.
Yeah.
And we found a church home out there.
Still my church home.
Still the church home. Shout out to True Vision Church. Man, they have been like a family to us since we got there.
The pastor is
Pastor Brown.
Yes.
And
yes.
The thing is, Pastor Michael Brown. And the thing is, we were there when they were in a gymnasium of a school. That's where they had church at.
Yeah, purple seats. I like the seats because that's my favorite color. So I didn't really mind it.
No, but then, I mean, we stayed with them because of the fact of the
message.
The message.
Listen, I'm not even gonna jump in too much and beat the religious thing. But if you guys can tune in and listen to Pastor Reverend Michael Brown from True Vision, and let me just be honest, if you got some hue in you, baby, he's talking to us. I'm not even gonna shout out to all of our friends across the globe and whatever ethnicity you are and whatever race and all that. But black folks, listen. If you in San Antonio and you close to that church, fall in there. When I say he will feed you with the word and a funny, humorous situation with it too, you will come out of there. He don't play with you.
And he's gonna give you three things before you
go.
He gonna give you three things before you roll out. Man, we didn't get a chance to actually see him, but shake his hand.
I was watching the preaching.
We was there, but I'm saying I wanted to shake his hand.
Well,
how you doing, Pastor? How's everything? Yeah, we was late. That's what happened when you try and get 6 people ready in a hotel room.
Man, we was late.
It just sometimes too many butts in the shower. That's what it is. Too many butts in the shower and one tube of toothpaste, and it just don't work out.
It don't work out, y'all.
It just happens. But we was able to see the end of the message. We were able to see him, and it was just good to be back in that location. So definitely shout out to Pastor Brown, to the whole True Vision family, Brother Core, everybody out there. Shout out to everybody.
First Lady Joy Brown.
Yes,
thank you.
While we were there, we actually was able to hand out some merch, so that was good. And want to shout out to Design Your Life for making the t-shirts for us from the Chapel Hills Mall. So if you guys are there, definitely go over there to that mall. He makes some great t-shirts over there, so shout out to them over there.
Yes.
But moving forward, we had a good time out there.
Yeah, I got my hair done. Hair Addict. This is Miss Vantrice Woodkins off of Walsham. Hair Addict is where you want to get your trestles fried, dyed, and laid to the side.
That was a lot of frying it too.
That wasn't no. See,
they fried your hair for like 5-6 hours.
No, they didn't.
I was out there frying in the car while you was frying your hair, huh? You know, it's San Antonio. The heat and the mosquitoes don't leave. It's year round. Heat and mosquitoes.
Listen, I need to give y'all something for the summer, so I don't trust nobody else with my hair, my trestles. If you know me, I have a lot of hair. It's all natural. There is no chemical in it other than this time, because I showed to get some color, y'all. Thank you, Miss Vantrice, Hair Addict. Go and check her out. So, yes. And shout out to, she's a brand, y'all. When I say Vantrice Woodkins is a brand and Cedric Woodkins is a brand, they are the Addict brand.
Listen, there's some people that you find in your life that are go-getters, and they don't let anything stop them from getting what they want. And the thing about that is, I mean, those are motivational people. Those are people that you need in your life. The thing is, and I'm going to take this real quick, your circle has to be right. If your circle doesn't contain people that's trying to do better, or trying to move forward, or trying to be better, or trying to make a change, then your circle ain't nothing but a flat line.
There you go. Yeah.
And you ain't doing nothing. You're stagnant and you're sitting there. You got to have people that's going to push you, that's going to motivate you, that's going to give you ideas, that's going to come out the box with stuff.
And not ask for nothing.
And not ask for nothing.
Don't ask for
just
nothing.
out the kindness of their heart to try and make sure somebody else comes up. That's the thing that we need, people.
Yeah.
You need to be able to reach back and bring somebody up there with you.
Yes.
I mean, come on now. People have been doing this for years, reaching back and helping other people. Why not do it yourself,
That's
man?
right.
You have to do that for the culture, for the community, for everyone.
Yeah.
You have to reach back if you've gotten to a certain point in your life. So that's what we're doing with this podcast. And so shout out to Miss Van Treese with her Hair Addict and her
Snack Addict
truck. We did a Being Greedy with Snack Addict. We was in front of it. Man, that is an awesome idea.
Y'all, if I lived anywhere near San Antonio, that Snack Addict truck would be in front of our house.
Hey, because them strawberry shortcakes, ice cream.
I can't do it. When she said nachos, I was like, let me get my nacho butt about this truck before I want it. See,
stuff, huh?
That's why we was almost late. See. Anyway. But yeah, so shout out to all the go-getters.
Yes.
We want to thank everybody for their hospitality again. Let's thank SeaWorld.
SeaWorld. Oh man, so we went to SeaWorld Aquatica. We had to get the water park in. Why? Because it was 180 degrees out there in San Antonio.
10 million mosquitoes.
And it was about 15,000 people in that line. That stretched all the way back to Dallas.
Yeah,
and so we had to...
was it like the first weekend?
I don't know what it was. But I want to shout out a couple of people there. First of all, one of the helpers, her name is Imani. Pretty funny.
What?
Yeah, her name was Imani.
Know that.
Yeah, her name was Imani. And so she was the one who grabbed Tyler. Thank you, shout out to Tyler, for helping us get the accommodations in order to get into the park. So
nice.
They helped us bypass the line and we were able to get in through the exit. Because of people with different handicap issues and stuff that we were able to get in. Hush. We ain't saying that. And so we were able to get in and bypass the line. So that helped us tremendously and save my family from being out there in the heat for 17,000 hours.
Yes.
And like I said, when we got in there, man, we had a cabana to ourselves.
Oh, yeah. That was nice.
That's one thing that you guys got to do. If you guys go to SeaWorld, get you guys a cabana if you go to the water park. Why? Because like I said, it's 129,000 degrees out there.
And you trying to find a chair.
And you ain't got no water shoes. Your feet going to turn into little... tarmacs.
Little racinettes.
Little rubber bottoms. Your feet gonna turn black.
And we had a range of age with us. We were a party of 10 with my mom. My beautiful mom came with us. So she's in her beautiful She's in her beautiful third 20s. This is her third 20s. And then we had our youngest goddaughter, which shout out to Miss Layla. Oh my goodness, she was the life of the water park, y'all. We're gonna put a couple pictures up, so you can see. But I want to jump into what we're talking about today. And while we were out there, I got to have a little nostalgia come about.
Going around San Antonio, that was her area. When she was a paramedic out there, licensed paramedic out there in San Antonio, that was her streets. She knew that place like the back of her hand.
Yes, I did.
And so it's pretty funny. While you was in there getting your hair done, I actually saw one of your old trucks pass by, lights and sirens going to a call, and it just made me think about how many times that you had to do that while you were out there in San Antonio. So first of all, we want to say a hey to all the paramedics, all the firefighters, all the emergency medical service workers. They're not just ambulance drivers.
No,
they
we're gonna
do
talk about
more than that.
Yes.
So, I said, while you're there, just the nostalgia of being back out there and all the stuff that you had to deal with.
Yeah, so let's get into it, y'all. But first, let us get this commercial break in.
Okay.
And then come right back into what we need to get into.
All right. We'll see you in a second. All right, we are back.
Yes. So I want to start off with just some housekeeping. EMT. EMT stand for Emergency Medical Technician. EMS is Emergency Medical Services, okay? And then paramedic. EMT is the job. EMS is the service. So when we say shout out to EMS, you're talking about the police, firefighters, and medics. Medics are kind of like little brother that no one really, that kind of kicks around. We don't really have a home because you're not really tied to the fire service per se. There's a lot of people who work in private ambulance EMS. I don't want to get into the weeds of everything, because if you're a medic, you kind of understand it can get complicated. You can work rural EMS. Rural EMS is when you're in charge of the entire 911 system. I've had the opportunity to do both. I've been able to work partial fire system and also private EMS. I've run rural EMS. I've been in EMS. I got my EMT in 2007, y'all. So some of y'all that is probably listening to this podcast wasn't even walking.
Was that before 9/11?
You know what? Let's see. I get him on the 9/11. He want to dive in. So there's that. Now let's get into the paramedic structure. You have your licensed paramedic. What is a licensed paramedic? A licensed paramedic, if you're in the Texas area and you see someone with gold around their patch and it says licensed paramedic, that means that medic has gone to college, y'all.
A degree.
I need you guys to understand that, because back maybe 10 years ago, you could be a paramedic and not have a degree, and that still can happen, but that is phasing out. They're going away. It's going more towards the structure of nursing, okay? So when you see a medic and it says licensed paramedic, they have a degree. Let's just stop right there, because I want to touch on a topic that is a little touchy for me. My nurses and my doctors out there, they have just as much school, or not your doctors, but your nurses, just as much school as you do. Let me say it again. Licensed paramedics have just as much education as a registered nurse.
Except for they're doing theirs in a box that's moving and you kind of standing there still.
I'm not saying you're better or I'm better, but that is a myth that needs to be understood. When you are working in a unit, we are not just ambulance drivers. Okay, if you want to disrespect a paramedic or an EMT, you dumb them down to an ambulance driver and you have shown ultimate disrespect.
They're not a delivery system. They're not your local milk people that comes and drop the milk off at the door and honk twice and leave. No.
Right.
No.
You know, it's kind of like selling an RN. All you do is put Band-Aids on.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? So
sting a little bit.
Ouch, y'all. Because if you work in the system, you know there is kind of a power battle between your RNs and your paramedics. But RNs, if you would understand that they are equally yoked in education, if you see that licensed paramedic, then you probably wouldn't get so much bark back from the medic.
All right, word of advice.
I want to touch on that for my medics out there, okay?
Put that out there.
Also, let's move on. We work a lot of hours, y'all. I don't know if you know that when a paramedic or an EMT, emergency medical technician, or an EMT advance is working, we work 12 to 16-hour shifts, sometimes 24 hours.
Depending on how long, depending on if you get that last call before your shift is over with.
Right. One EMS call from the time the tone drops to the time you run into the hospital can take you anywhere on a short run, an hour, to maybe 3 to 4 hours, depending on how complicated the call is. And then there is no downtime. You get cleared from that call, you clean your unit, and you're back out there.
Now imagine that. Let's everybody take that for a second. You just did a call. And like I said, I'm not a paramedic, but I've lived with one, right? And I know what it can do, and basically the stories, with no names, just kind of examples of things that they go through. And one of the things is the fact of, you just got off a call. Imagine if scenario, bad call, couple of kids and moms, just had an accident or something like that. And you got to clean out the back of that unit.
It's crazy, you guys.
And after you finish cleaning out the back of the unit, you have to go ready again.
Yeah.
You have to press a button or call in and say
you have to clear your call.
that you're ready for the next call. After you just clean blood or bandages or clothes that was cut off of their legs
Yes.
In order to, put whatever on there. You got to think about that. Somebody's T-shirt that they had to cut off because they had to do something.
Right. So, it's you have to. We get all types of calls. This is not something that says that, I hated my career. Anybody that's in EMS, we answer the call to help y'all.
Eat, sleep, save lives.
Eat, sleep, save lives. But what we didn't ask for is the disrespect. Y'all, when I say that there is disrespect on calls, we didn't ask for that. I know I didn't. I'm going to dive in. I'm not a type of person that holds my tongue. I am you can probably hear me, I'm a little more subdued on this because this is touchy for me. The whole system is touchy for me. I had the honor to be not in one place, but a couple places, the only black female to be in that EMS system. And when I say it's a catch-22, please understand that. I didn't know whether, especially living in Louisiana, in the South, I was in a small ambulance system running EMS, but I was the only black female. The only one. And maybe I was the third of 3 women that worked in the entire system. I didn't know whether some of that was sexism or the fact that I was black, where the hazing got to me. I didn't realize how bad. I mean, we would have a call in the backwoods of Timbuktu somewhere.
Ooh, we talking about them little bitty houses in the back of the woods. One dirt road with one light at the end of the road, but none by the house except for the little light on the side of the house that's supposed to light the whole house.
Now,
up,
mind you,
full of bugs.
I'm a military spouse, so when you tell me you don't remember Mamaw's shack down there on the corner, no, ma'am, I don't remember Mamaw's shack. Well, who is Mamaw? I don't even understand her. But we go out there and we run a major call, and then I would have older medics, firefighter old dogs that I don't know whether it just need. Let me be honest, y'all. Some of these medics, they need to go sit down. The ones I worked with, if you're that bitter and that angry because you see a female coming into the job that you claim are just for men, and you treat people like that, you are burnt out and you need to sit down.
You need to stop.
I was, and I'm going to be honest, I was hazed. I remember having a terrible code in the back of the unit, and this particular medic decided he would leave all of his chew spit cups all in the truck and then got out and went to bed. It was 2:30 in the morning and told me, I was a basic at the time, and told me clean it up, and walked in. I was astounded. I'm gonna drop the area so people from Louisiana can understand. I was in the middle of Timbuktu. I was in Ringgold, Louisiana, y'all. What's out there? What's out there? This was back in 2008, 9. What's out there, y'all? I remember being on a call back there. I'm gonna be honest and I was on a call back there, and this is one of the stories that I still tell my children. Me and a guy, and I don't remember, but shout out to this gentleman. I still remember his name, but I remember his firefighter name, y'all. He was a firefighter in Bossier. I think highly of this gentleman. His name was Jay Bird. If you know who Jay Bird is, tell him I still appreciate what he did that night. I thank him. We made a call out there, and we came up to a trailer, and I don't remember the call, but it was to a trailer home way back in wherever. We couldn't see. Really good guy. We came into the call and we kept hearing some tapping on the roof. Now the roof was tin.
Tin roof.
It was a tin roof.
Back in, you got a tin roof.
Now this is me straight from California, y'all. I don't even tin what? I'm from LA.
Did they finish building the house?
I don't know. I'm like, goodness gracious. We get in and we're taking care of a patient. And while taking care of the patient, I'm hearing some tink, tink on the roof. And I'm looking at Jay Bird, and Jay Bird's looking at me, and and we're giving you know how you can talk to your partner without giving any, you can give facial expressions, and he's giving me that, I don't know what that, I'm giving, what in the heck? And then one of the family members proceeds to see what happens and tells me, well, I can give you 2 options what it could be. It could be acorns hitting the roof or the Ku Klux Klan coming to get you.
Let that sink in for a minute.
I'm standing there, the only black female, and at the time I am 5'4", 100.
The only black person in the house.
In on the street, in the area. I couldn't run if I wanted to. Jaybird looks at me and tells me, hey, go get in the car. Go get in the truck, excuse me. Go get in the unit. I'm like, bet. That's just one, you guys.
What about the lady that said don't touch her?
If
I would have known they were sending somebody black to my house, I would have called back and said send somebody else.
Actually, I have. Yes, that is true.
Don't put your hands on me.
I have experienced racism, and then I've had to suck it up and save their life. I've had people tell me that they didn't want me to touch them with their black hands. I've had people, just like Russ said, me and a partner came on scene, and the woman did not want to give me her information. Now, I am a paramedic. When I say I am proud of my credit score, I don't know what this old woman's credit score was, but she thought I wanted to steal her identity, y'all.
And use it for what?
For what?
Never mind, I ain't gonna say that.
Listen, she told me I didn't know they were sending blacks. This is in San Antonio.
But not even only that, it's just the effects of the job itself.
On top of that,
just the fact of
the sexism, the racism, and then you have to deal with the stress of the job
itself. I mean, you got to put yourself in their shoes. I mean, that's where you have to go. And that video that the commercial I put up explains it. It's a call. You go out there, you run to the call, you try to save a life. You do what you can, and every call is different. I mean, you guys watch some of those shows that's on TV.
Wait a minute. Wait. Don't watch them shows on TV. Oh, my God. I can't. Any paramedic, any EMT worth their salt. You out there, and they're running with the stretcher and doing chest compressions on the bed. What?
Yeah, it's like me when I watch those military
I
movies
can't
sometimes.
do it.
I'd be like, man, what are they doing?
Oh, my goodness.
They ain't got no rank on.
Man.
How is it?
I'm like, wait a minute, you was coded and now you sitting up eating cookies? How? Make it make sense, y'all. I can't do it. But anyway, y'all, yes, the stress of the job, it is rewarding because when you get a heartbeat back, or we call it ROSC in the field, when you get return of circulation, that is an amazing feeling. That means we have a terminology called you danced with the Reaper and you won. Those feelings supersede a lot of it, but what I'm trying to tell you is that there is some housekeeping that needs to be done in EMS. And I cannot sit on this platform and say that there isn't some things that need to be done. The suck it up and move on culture.
You can't. There's no way you can get over 2 infant calls in a row. You got a child at home.
Yes. I remember having a lot of bad calls. 1 week I think I had 3 codes in 1 week. That's rough. When you are working private ambulance, not firefighters, we call it the beehive effect. Because with firefighters, they're great. When they have a medic, you see when they come to your house, it's 10 of them, y'all. Not when you work in private EMS. If you have a private EMS service that runs your 911 unit, you may have a volunteer firefighters. Volunteer, meaning they are taking their time. They are jumping out of their beds, you guys, to come and voluntarily put your fire out. Give these guys and these women some respect, y'all.
Definitely.
Put some respect on their skills. They don't have to be out there. They don't have to. Imagine if you called 911 and no one came. So this is what I'm trying to say. When we get to your home, we know that you're in a lot of stress, but I've had people tell me it's my fault that their loved one has passed away. After the loved one or the family has not started CPR.
Or the fact that they have 5 cars sitting in the front of the house and could have got them there a lot faster. Not to say, faster, but I'm just saying they blame the paramedic, the person that's there to try to save lives, when they know that Mama was 80 years old and nobody in the house know how to do CPR.
You cannot. Let me tell you something, people. After 4 minutes of no oxygen, your brain dies. When you call 911 and that dispatcher says, start CPR, if you do not do that and you expect me to come in and do a magic sprinkle, it is not going to happen. You have to get that heart circulating and to continue to have it pump until that paramedic can come into your home and help your loved one. If you stop, if you are too afraid to do that, you are losing your loved one, people.
And don't do it in the bed.
Pull the loved one onto the floor. You need a hard backing because the bed bounces, you guys. I'm not here to tell you that you have to be a superhero. What I am here to tell you is if your loved one is down, you better help that medic help you. Okay? Because once we walk in with everything we have, if there has been no circulation to the body in over 4 minutes, we cannot bring something or resurrect anything that's not there. Let me take a break, because y'all see I'm getting excited.
Yeah, you get
And we'll be right back.
All right, we'll see you. Stay tuned. All right, we are back with the last part of this, wrapping it up with the whole paramedic experience and the EMS experience that they go through. And Z was just telling us just kind of how it affected her dealing with the racism, the sexism, and now the last part that, you know, paramedics and emergency medical workers deal with is the aftermath of the calls. And, you know, just dealing with the calls themselves that range from somebody, you know, choking on a pretzel to things that you just can't even
silly
imagine.
Silly stuff. Toe pain at 2 a.m.
I can't. What about that? I can't sleep.
Y'all, I had a call that, I kid you not, you guys. I had a call that it was about 2, 3 in the morning, and me and my partner went out there, and they said, I was working 24-hour shifts at the time, and so we went out there, and this family said that they got a bad batch of drugs. I crap you not, y'all. And they said, and so at the time I was a basic. So I'm standing there and I'm listening. And they said, well, because the drugs typically keep me awake and I keep falling asleep. So I couldn't imagine. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, well, usually when I take these drugs, I stay awake, but this has to be a bad batch, so I need to go to the hospital.
Because I keep falling asleep at 2:30 in the morning.
I couldn't believe it, y'all.
You called 911.
Yes.
Because you couldn't fall asleep at 2:30.
Yes.
Because you got you some
a bad
cheap
batch
gas station drugs.
Yo, we get people call. I guess they figure they got to be at work at 6 in the morning, so they'll call the ambulance for knee pain that's been hurting for a month.
And what about the people that got the bags packed already?
Y'all, listen. You got folks that I've been called on a 911 call, and then folks will go, let me see which hospital has the certain menu. I promise you, medics
let's go to
know.
this one. They got the chicken today.
Oh my goodness. How is it a 911 call and you got your bag packed? Your to-go bag, because just in case they keep you. When we say we have come across a lot, but the ones that stick with you are the ones, it's not even the major ones. It's not even, I've worked MCIs, I've had to call in helicopters for patients, those are devastating. But the ones that get you the most from me are the ones that people say that they didn't know. It's the ones that, the hangings, it's the suicides and the depression. It's not even depression. The look on the family's faces after that's happened. Those thoughts still stick with me. I can close for a long time. I have been out of EMS for 5 years now. And it took a long time for me to understand that the memories have taken a toll. I cannot watch EMS shows. It sends my heart racing. It sends me to panic. I have anxiety. Yeah, you guys.
It's real. It's definitely real. Paramedics and emergency workers have to deal with it, just like the military. When the military goes overseas and deals with combat and things of that nature, they come back with, a lot of people come back with PTSD. And it's real. And it's the fact of I mean, imagine this, and I'm gonna put this scenario out there to kind of mesh them together so people can understand. Imagine being a military person, and you're out there, and you're driving a convoy, and it's a soccer ball in the middle of the street, and not knowing that soccer ball is filled with an IED, and you drive past a little soccer ball, and it detonates and explodes. Maybe hurting somebody in the truck, maybe flipping the truck over, maybe damaging the truck. But think about that driver who has to come back to the States now, come back to be with his family and or her family, and now they're driving down their neighborhood, and you know, kids are playing in the streets, and all of a sudden a soccer ball rolls in front of the car. What do you think that does to them? What do you think happens in that moment? Same for a paramedic who's out there and they have children at home, and you get a call where there's a little girl who put one of those little balls, you know, the little bouncy balls. You know, kids put stuff in their mouth, and they put the little bouncy ball in their mouth, and then now runs around the house. How many kids put stuff in their mouth and run around, and then chokes on it and starts choking because it's stuck and lodged in their throat? Now they call 911. Paramedic on scene trying to save this little girl's life. You have to go home. You come home, it's, I don't know, around Halloween time, Christmas time, whatever the case may be, and, you know, your child gets one of them little balls in a goodie bag from another kid, and now they're walking around bouncing the ball. What do you think this is going to do to you?
Make you throw all the bouncy balls out?
We do not have any bouncy balls in our house.
Make you throw them out?
Every little bitty bouncy ball that you get from them 25-cent machines, or they do not come in our house.
Not in my house.
Why?
No
Because,
bouncy balls.
And so it's the same effect. And so, you know, me and Z been together and been married over 20 years. And, you know, I can say that some of those calls did affect her. And it took a story of a friend of mine who said how they couldn't watch certain military movies because it puts them back into that mindset. And telling that story made Z realize that, wow, is that the same thing that happens to me when I watch EMS shows or watch people get medical attention on TV and they're doing it wrong? And
it sends me spinning, you guys. I still cannot anything. I know everybody is not naive to what's going on all the television right now in the George Floyd case. I can't watch that. I can't watch anything like that. Anything that has to deal with trauma or being hurt, it affects me so much that anyone in my family that is hurt, I am automatically going to anxiety. I cannot, I'm being vulnerable here, you guys. It's something that it needs to be addressed.
Yeah. The EMS system, the whole system needs to come up with a better way of helping folks deal with that. A chaplain call is one thing, but having someone there for the rest of your life is what's needed. You need to have they need to assign therapy counselors.
But you know what? Let me. You brought up something, and certain EMS systems, they say you can go see the chaplain. But do you know if you go see the chaplain after a code, the hazing that comes into that? Let me just be honest. If you can't suck it up and just like, oh, you had to go see the chaplain after that? Come on, what's wrong with you? You can't suck that up?
Suck it up,
dude. Nah, I can't suck that hanging up. Nah, I can't suck up that GSW to the head. I mean, some things you just can't do it. I for a long time, I had people chasing me in my dreams. For a long time, I
was sleeping with Usain Bolt for a minute. I was gone. Track star.
You know, it's like I had people following me. I mean, and I'm sitting here going, I couldn't save you. You guys, this is real. When you call 911 and you get those people to come into your house to save you, I know that you guys are in need, but you don't know what they need. So please don't call 911 for no reason. You're not helping nobody. And guess what? You're going to get a fat bill if you have not... if you don't really need the services. One thing that irks my nerves is people think, oh, I can get into the hospital faster if I call 911. No, you cannot, sweetheart, and don't do that. You don't know if you're calling that unit and they just had the worst 24 hours. Or they're dealing with some things.
Or they're at the end of their shift and they're like, oh, I'm about to get off, and they get ready to head back, and then...
we get your toe pain. Come on, y'all. We can do better than that, especially if you got cars, you guys. This is not a game. You know, you wouldn't just walk into the hospital and waste the time of a doctor. Don't walk into don't call 911 and waste the time of EMS. Those firefighters that come on scene, some of those are paramedics too. So if they're not working a fire, they're working on the unit.
Yeah.
You guys?
Helping somebody out.
And a lot of times in EMS, they have more than one job because we don't get paid the money that the RNs do. We have to do everything that they do riding in the back of a unit, and then they get the bigger bucks. They deserve it. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, but we do too. Okay?
They got to make that change.
We have to make the change. We must make the change. And maybe with people understanding that the paramedics have degrees. These are not just folks that put Band-Aids and play the lights. These are folks who actually know. These are clinicians just like you. Okay, we have to re-register every 2 years, National Registry. We have to keep our CPR, our PALS, our ACLS, all of the credentials that RNs have, so do paramedics. And if you are on a heliflight, if you are I need to say that too. I'm trying to get everything in, y'all. You hear me? Paramedics are on the helicopters. Paramedics, those are not just RNs. The RNs are not in the back of ambulance doing clinician work. Those are paramedics, you guys. I need y'all to put some respect on our name. You hear me? I'm going to wrap it up because I can go on another million years.
The takeaway, the thing we're trying to get is make sure that if you are in that services that you're trying to get, that you're getting the help. Don't try. Get the help that you need.
Please, you're
There's
not alone.
There's no try because of the fact of they tell you, it's a video that we're going to put on our blog. And it's a firefighter talking about his guy who used to work with the firefighter department and was a paramedic. And he talks about his years and experiences and what he's dealt with over the years. We're going to put that video on our blog so you can watch it and get a good understanding of kind of the things that, that Z went through. And it's one of those things where you definitely got to get the help that you need. How you got to talk to somebody. You can't hold all that stuff in. Why? Because you're dealing with death daily.
Do you know what I used to get all the time? And my family knows this. But Z, it was my paramedic persona. Mm-hmm. Z was squared away. I was funny. I was personable. You could talk to me. But Z was broken. You hear me? I was stressed out, depressed. You take home those emotions, long days, short sleep. You're drinking coffee or you're drinking liquor. It just, and everyone in EMS knows it's true. And if you don't have a solid foundation, if you don't have people who can rock with you and help you through it, you're going to be lost. And I am wanting to say that I'm thankful that I'm on the other side of this. It's taken years to get the flashes of memory out of my head. It's taken a therapy. It's taken medication. But I'm not alone. And so my message to come forward and say this is that you're not alone. If there's another black female medic out there and you know that I'm speaking the truth, inbox me. If you need help, I'm here to talk. I'm here to listen. You're not by yourself. I've been there. I'm on the other side of it now. Let's get it together, y'all.
Definitely. So, with that being said, we want you guys to visit our website.
Yes.
Go to mosscompanyllc.org. Mm-hmm. Check us out. Like I said, we're going to have information on our blog, on our site. Definitely go to our Instagram at RussandZ_podcast.
Please.
And definitely we want to shout out to Drip Queen for making this possible, for the coffee that they provided this morning. Definitely needed this morning because like I said, we always want to get a message out to everyone, and that's what we're doing. Like I said, this one was definitely hitting home because we wanted to touch people. Our next episode 19, is going to be talking about mental health. Yes. And then we're going to wrap it up after that with our last episode of the season.
Man, so season 2 is over.
Season 2 is about to be over. Crazy. So thank you guys for sticking with us all this time. We appreciate you guys. Hey, once again, if you have any birthday shout outs, go to our mosscompanyllc.org website. We have a birthday shout out for our folks. Definitely thank you for the people who's already sent it in. Hey, we love you guys. And we're here to basically help and spread the word and give, like I said, our experiences, and just hopefully our experiences and what we've been through can help you guys get over whatever hump you guys are in, whatever roadblocks you guys are hitting, because we're here for you, all right? Hit us up, and until then, we want you to be
the change you want to see.
All right.